Barak, Yahweh, Allah, Shalom, righteous family. Welcome to TRU-TALK. Proverbs chapter 31. The words of King Lemuel. The prophecy that his mother taught him. Chapter 2. Verse 2. What, my son, and what? The son of my wounds. And what? The son of my vows. Verse 3. Give not thy strength to women, nor thy ways to that which destroy kings. And I'm going to stop right there because I said, how does a man give his strength to a woman? And I was just meditating. As I was meditating on that, I just had this revelation that, of course, I would love to share with the family here. First of all, Proverbs 33 is known for talking about the virtue woman. You know how to be a Proverb 31 woman, how to be a virtuous woman, how to be a woman that's meek, kind, how to, it's like the blueprint of how to be a righteous, God-fearing, perfect woman for God and her husband, for God first, then her husband. Now it starts off in saying these words was given to a king or taught to a king by his mother. His mother taught him this, and it says she prophesied this. You know, and I can really respect that and understand that, because oftentimes you got men trying to tell men what women want. You got women trying to tell women what man want. And can't nobody really, if we truly be honest and if that lady be honest and teach the truth, only a woman can tell a man how a woman truly think and what that woman really needs. Only a mother can teach a son how to be a husband to his wife. And only a father can teach his daughter how to treat a man and how to be a wife to his daughter. I'm sorry, a woman cannot teach a man how to be a man. So we have men try to give men's advice on women, contrary from the scriptures, and vice versa. When, we're not going by the scripture plus examples. It can't just be, I live this way. So, because everybody's life and relationship and person is different. So I have to be by experience, example in the scripture. And also the scripture must be the foundation, must be the bread and butter. If your thoughts, opinion, experience, example does not line up with the scripture, then that worked out for you, but that's not the advice to give others. Nevertheless, how does this mother prophesy? She didn't just say she prophesied this. So this is spiritual. This is anointing. This is something that all men should give ear to. Now, I'm going to be speaking both to men and women, but my main focus is going to be on the men's, because the verse said, give thy strength not to a woman. But this goes vice versa. let's talk about relationships. And what came to my mind, how does one give his strength to a woman? Now, I was looking the internet to try to find a picture that really grasped my thoughts on this and the understanding that was given to me on this. And this is not exact, but it'll do. Now we see the woman over there is happily playing with her phone. And this man looked like he's mad or irritated because obviously he don't approve or like what I'm gonna assume his wife is doing next to him on the phone. Maybe he wanna have a conversation. Maybe she been on her phone too long. Or who knows? Where he's upset. And there's nothing wrong with being upset. Even the prophets were uh, getting angry, but don't sin. And we are emotional beings. Uh, to understand the Most High gave me our emotions, our wisdom. It give us understanding of what just happened. If somebody say something funny, your emotion is going to be giggles, a sight, and a laugh because that's the wisdom as we operate in this world to tell you this person made a funny joke. If we going somewhere and it's serious and dangerous and my emotions are on edge and I'm a little fearful and cautious, that's wisdom. It's because even though it's letting my senses and everything around me that and everything the Father put in me is letting me know, hey, you in the dangerous area. So I need to download that wisdom, not let that wisdom control me and just go shooting or running or wherever the first thing popped to your head, but understand what I'm feeling at this time, why I'm feeling that. If a person made me upset, feel me or whatever, and then know how to handle it the righteous way, which is me the right way to make a good decision, a right decision, instead of the wrong decision. But many times, men and women, but like I said, I'm speaking to the man, uh, our partner, whether it's our husband or wife, because this is true talk and we go biblical over here. So we're not doing girlfriends and boyfriends, we're doing husbands and wives. That's what it is. That's how it should be. That's what it is. If it ain't that, then get it together. Nevertheless, when we give ourselves our strength or ourself completely to a partner, completely to our wife or husband, well, if they want to, they can toy with our emotions because we gave our emotions over to them. That's one way, and that's the way that I'm speaking about how a man can give his strength to a woman. Well, this woman got him depressed. You hear stories about, uh, you know, I know a family member. He was in a long time relationship. Uh, Long time, it wasn't no 10 plus years, but it was, 3 or 4 years in this relationship. And he invested hard. He put his time, and most of all, he put his emotions in it. He put his time, money, and most of all, his emotion. And as often happens, uh, not to get into too many details, but they broke up. Now, this been 10 plus years, and he's been single ever since. he even talked some of that junk about not liking black women and getting an Asian woman, all because and he was hurt, and he was hurt to the point that he was in a dump. I mean, he was really depressed. This woman really broke him, really shattered his life. But and when he finally got over, I'm not sure. Matter of fact, I know he's still not completely over it. He's still letting that breakup after all the years change him, affect him to, you know, when somebody say, hey, tick, tick, time is ticking, and you ain't got no children, we're gonna get a wife. And he like, oh, I'm just working, I ain't worried about no woman. And it's almost like he gave up on love and on women, especially black women, because this one Hebrew sister really broke his heart because he was really in love. That's the example of a man giving his strength to a woman. Now, the scripture already tell us to put our trust in no man slash woman. We know that means no human being. No human being we should put our fully trust in. And a lot of men make that mistake where, and I can understand that because as men, we carry so much, and sometimes we just need an outlet, something soft. So that's the gift of that woman. What that woman can do to us, we can release that stress and put our complete trust in her and feel like we don't have to worry. Self secrets with her. Give her, let her know who we are as a man, as a person. Let us know, childhood. Let's just tell a woman everything about us when we really trust, when we really love that woman. We will put our fully trust in her. And that's a grave mistake that a lot of men make. That's the way you give your strength to a woman. You can trust a person. And this whole thing, when I'm talking, we got to understand balance. Yes, you're going to be emotional involved. It's normal to be emotional attached and involved with a wife that you've been with for years. But you got to know that balance and that line that you don't give her your whole self. So if she cheat or leave you, that you're going to commit suicide or be depressed for 2 or 3 years and start not to like women's and just, you know, let this woman be able to tear you down. Certain things, you know how they say certain things uh, go to the grave with you. You share your secrets. Only certain things me and God know. You know what I'm saying? That's who you put your complete trust in, the Most High. Not no woman, not no man. And we get emotionally attached and involved where we get these people our whole self and we put our complete trust in them. And to the point where they dictate us, well, if they frown up one day and they having a bad day, even though we having a good day, we'll have a bad day. No man or woman should have that power over you. This woman is playing on her phone and we're gonna say that she got so much power over his emotion that he's over there pouting upset. And an example that I used that the father revealed to me and gave me a revelation. Well, I was cheated on by a female, and every man, if you be honest, when we go through that, we question ourselves. Dang, Was I hitting her right? What made her go out and get this other man? Maybe I ain't big enough down there, or maybe I ain't hitting right. Maybe I don't look that good. You know, I need to get more money. All these things, and you can become insecure, you can become bitter, uh, and we question what did I done wrong. And I didn't have to go to a therapy. There was no wise people around me to give me counsel. I went to the Father, and the Father downloaded in me, you didn't done nothing wrong. If you was an NBA player, 6'8", and just perfect, gorgeous, because the type of woman that she is, she will still find a way. She will still cheat because you do know there's NBA players and rich, handsome men that don't have no problem with performing in the bed, and they still get cheated on. They still get left. And there's nothing necessarily they did. And of course, that woman, as always, be careful when you meet a woman and she done had past relationships and she don't take no ownership and say, I was young, I messed up here. I needed, I had to grow and learn how to be in a relationship, love myself, and he did this and I did this. Instead of doing that, if a woman just blame it all on a man and say, oh, this ex, he was a stalker. Oh, this ex, he was abusive. Oh, this ex, he was very jealous. Oh, this ex wouldn't let me do it. Everything just their fault, red flag. I didn't do nothing. I didn't cheat. I was just perfect. But all these exes, it was all their fault. Because when she break up with you, guess what? Same story. She gonna find out a reason to say why y'all didn't work out, and guess what? It's gonna be your fault. But nevertheless, when it comes to, oh, I was telling a story about the father told, this girl that, and she was traumatized. And when I got older and the most I gave me wisdom, I knew to avoid women's like that because women's like that are not faithful. They're not trustworthy. Uh, when I met her, she had shorts up a booty cheek, dressing like the job, that she was employed with. I could have taken it out on black women's or all women's, but no, that was an error in my judgment of dating a person like that. And for a moment, I was fearful about dating because I was scared a woman might cheat on me. And I didn't want to be one of those dudes that always have to go through a phone and then follow her or follow that person, because the relationship where the woman cheated on me, I turned into that guy. Well, I knew she was cheating, but I really didn't have proof. And I go through her phones and even make like I'm going to work and follow her. A relationship should not be like that. I should not have gave that young girl that much power because we was young. We was in our 20s. I should not gave her that much power over me to the fact that she affected me in that way. So I'm worried about is she cheating on me and how can I find out? And I told myself I don't want to be in a relationship like that. And the next time that I get in a relationship, first of all, I'm gonna choose right. I'm gonna choose wise. I'm gonna choose a God-fearing type of woman that uh, I can trust the God in her to not do something like that. And then I'm gonna live my relationship. And this is why I told myself, if I ever get a relationship, I'm gonna live freely, not being because when I thought about how I acted and the thoughts went to my head and I was miserable and how I didn't never want to be in a relationship like that where I'm worried about being cheated on. Now, after I broke up with her for the first, I was scared that, oh, if I get in a relationship, why, if I just gonna cheat on me, I gotta make sure, look, if you in a relationship, your wife or your husband, you should not have to, what's the word I'm looking for? Police her to make sure she don't cheat. You shouldn't have to be worrying and always make sure that she's not putting herself in a position to compromise you or herself. That's a conversation y'all should already have. It should already be understood. And the Most High gave me a revelation. If you find a woman, don't stress like that, because if they're gonna cheat on you, it don't matter how hard you police. It don't matter how hard you can try to prevent that woman from cheating on you. If she's that type of woman, it's gonna happen. If he's that type of man, it's gonna happen. So why stress out or stress yourself out? And what's in the dark gonna come to the light. As the scripture said, there's nothing hidden that won't be revealed. If they're cheating, you gonna know and you gonna find out. Excuse me. Sooner than later. So don't stress about it. And guess what? If they cheating, be able to leave, even though you was disappointed and sad. Be able to leave without being scarred, without being angry, without hating women, without saying I'm giving up on love, without being depressed. Just like, okay, you cheating, I'm out the door. I'm not gonna try to prevent you to cheat. I'm not gonna uh, go through your phone, try to catch you cheating. I don't need that stress. I don't need to live that type of life. I'm gonna live peaceful and happily, even if you don't. And if you cheat, I'm gonna find out and then I'll just leave you. Simple as that. You don't have to make it complicated. See, when you don't give your power to a woman, that's just how simple it is. And a lot of times, not only you will be unstressed and more happy, but your wife will be more stressed and happy because feel she'll feel that freedom that you give her. And she'll feel that trust and that reality, and she will be more likely to honor that trust. Like my husband don't check up on me like that, so I'm not gonna do anything to, you know, portray that trust. And because he don't check up on me and police me and keep me in the box, I can be happy in this relationship. Now, of course, we can get jealous. The scriptures speak of a husband being jealous and stuff. You know, she talking to a man for too long, and you know you don't feel right. You may get a little jealous, and all you shouldn't have to yell and fuss. You should be able to go over there and be like, and correct it, and she should already know and correct herself and leave. See, when you got a woman that don't respect you, don't love you, and don't know how to be a virtue woman, don't know how to be a Proverbs 31, to behave herself in a manner, you're already setting yourself up for failure. And then you giving her your strength by putting all your emotion and trust in her and letting her be able to basically play with you if she want. If she want to make you mad or make you jealous or make you this, all she gotta do is trigger that, and you on edge. It shouldn't be that way. And you can love a woman fully. You can love your wife fully and still have that balance where you don't give her your full self, where she can tour with you. Y'all can be together for 20, 15 years with kids. You know, I met this man, I didn't understand it. He was with his wife for 20 years. They had kids. He was an older gray haired man. And we was somewhere, and you know, it was a lot of, let's just say, wealthy men around, a lot of players around. And he was sitting down, and he was like, "Yeah, I came here with my wife." And you know how the saying go, uh, you know, when you come around me, keep your female close by, keep on the leash because she'll get tucked. She around ballers, she around young, rich, handsome men, and he was just laid back kicking. He was like, yeah, she's somewhere around here. And I was like, you ain't worried? He was like, worried for what? He was like, look, I've been married for 20 years. We got kids. She hadn't stepped out yet. And if she want to step out, so be it. I'll be out the door and wherever she step out with, she can have. But he said, nah, I'm not worried. Like, I know who I am and what I do, and she know who I am and the value in me. He said just as much, because I'm not running around here and falling for these little young girls or getting caught up. She should know better. And that's the trust that we have in each other. But I'm not stressed out trying to police her. He didn't say it that way, but basically it was like, I'm not running behind her and stressing her out and worrying about what she's doing. She's a grown woman. She know how to behave herself. And I'm expecting for her to behave herself as my wife. And if she don't, then the only thing I would be disappointed, I'd be upset, and I will leave. But I'm not gonna be, oh, I'm so broken. I'm tired of hearing about the relationship where they talking about bad breakup and the man and the woman be so broken, and they be like, you don't understand. We got kids together. We've been married for 20 plus years, for 10 plus years. He was my high school sweetheart. He was my first, and blah 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 blah. So it didn't work out. He cheated. He left. He chose. You should move on. You shouldn't be in no depressed mode. You shouldn't start to hate men or hate women. You shouldn't be stuck in the house with the lights off, not eating. In today's society, we consider that normal. When a breakup happened, we're like, oh, they need time to heal. They just got out of a bad breakup. I really thought they was gonna make it. And that person be depressed and they were like, okay, it's time to come out and have fun. You should never give yourself to a person that much that when they walk out of your life, no matter how much you love them, how long y'all been together, to the fact it affects you emotionally, where you so depressed and suicidal and distraught. I'm not saying not have emotions. I'm not saying not to uh that person not to get in arguments or that person can't make you mad or sad. But it shouldn't be a way where she can do it at a drop of a dime anytime. And you shouldn't stay mad. As the scripture says, don't let the sun uh, go down on your anger. We should really take heed of that when we get in an argument or fuss with our wife, we, we or husband, we shouldn't be so emotionally torn and upset to when we lay down at night, we still upset and mad. You should go ahead and let that go. That don't mean you gave in. That don't mean the situation is dealt with and everything cool. It's just no, I'm not gonna stay up all night upset about this. I'm not gonna go to bed mad. I'm gonna because I love you, and first because I love the Father, I'm gonna forgive. And after I forgive you for whatever you made me mad, I'm gonna sleep good, and hopefully you sleep good. When I wake up, I'm gonna have a clear head. We're gonna presume this conversation. And when you live like that, you can have more deep personal conversation with your wife without arguments, without feeling fearful. There's some men and women out there that fear has taken a hold of them, where they feel like they can't say certain things to their spouse because they have gave power to their spouse. They have gave their spouse their strength to when they snap their lips and roll their eyes or stump their feet and clap their hands or he or she raise their voice, you already defeated. you already hurt and broken, and it happens every time. Instead of, the one who wins the argument, or not even win the argument, but be able to navigate and move in a right way, is the one that's calm, the one that's not so emotional, not so angry, not so sad. And men, that's how you rule your household, by example. When your wife can smack her lip, roll her eyes, and yell her voice and say something real slick, and you able to respond with love and calmness, you lead them by example, and you able to respond firmly, not being afraid of what she say, saying, look, this is what it's gonna be. If you don't do it, that's on you, but I'm telling you, this is what it's gonna be. I can't tell another man how to uh, deal with his wife. Uh, but nevertheless, not to be so emotional about it, not to give her so much of your strength where you hurt, that she hurt your feelings, that she yelled at you, she got you scared to say something now, or you know, you in the car, you gotta go, and now you speeding, y'all having an argument. Now you speeding, you end up hitting somebody or getting in the car wreck. All these things happen because we give a woman or a man our strength, and we give them all of ourselves, all our trust and emotions. No, no, trust nobody but the Most High. And there's a balance. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna trust you to do the right thing. And I'm gonna allow for you to be free, to be happy with me, to enjoy me, to speak to me, to talk to me. And I'm gonna be free to be able to speak to you and talk to you, because we have not gave ourselves so much to each other. Well, we need this person to approve of us, that we need this person to so bad agree to, to the point, what I'm trying to say, to the point where your husband or your wife is who you always trying to oppress. Now, there should be days or whatever you feel a little romantic and sexy, you want to oppress your wife, but it shouldn't be always you. I live and hang off every word she say and do, or I live and hang off every word he say and do, off every action he say and do. It's gonna send me either in a raise or make me happy. You know that worldly saying, happy wife, happy life. No, if she having a bad day and I'm having a good day, I'm gonna acknowledge it. I'm gonna try to uh, cheer you up. I'm gonna empathize with you. I'm gonna talk with you. But don't think I'm gonna have a bad day. Don't think I'm gonna be moping around because you moping around. There's a saying that what I drink, you don't piss. And what you drink, I don't piss. Meaning what I do don't necessarily affect you in the way it affect me. And what you do don't necessarily affect you. Well, what you do don't affect me in the way it affects you. And what I do don't affect me in the way it affects you. If I get punched in the face, nobody gonna feel that but me. If your wife get punched in the face, you're not gonna feel it. Now you can sympathize with her and you can move accordingly to whatever the situation is. But wherever she drinks, she gonna have to piss. Whenever you drink, you gonna have to piss. The problem is we give our strength to these women and men to the fact when they drink something, we trying to piss out what they drink. We trying to be so connected, and the only person you should be so connected and soul tied and vulnerable with is the Most High. That don't mean not to be vulnerable with your wife. Gotta understand balance and discernment. Everything is not for everybody. There's some things I may share with some of my homeboys that I don't share with my wife. It's nothing bad. It's not that I'm cheating or it's just I know she's not gonna understand. I'm talking about the game or something. I know she's not really gonna understand that. Now when I share those things with her, yeah. But to talk to her like my homeboy and have a bone-on conversation, no, I'm not gonna bring that up to her. And I'm pretty sure there's some good talks that y'all women know. Y'all talk about at the bar. It may be a sexy man or whatever. It's okay to notice another man and say he's sexy and be with your girlfriend and say, ooh, but realize, you know what, I'm married and I can't cross the line. You're not gonna go to your husband and be like, child, we seen a sexy man today. All our girlfriend was like, ooh, he was sexy. You know what I'm saying? But if you do, men, if your wife do come to you and say, I seen a sexy man today, you should not give her your strength so much where that make you mad, jealous, or now you like, how did he look? Oh, he had a beard and an earring in his hair, he was bald head. Now you cutting your hair, putting earring and growing a beard, but just being dictated by your emotion because you gave your strength, which if you don't get the conversation or hint when I'm saying strength, I'm saying he gave over his emotion. He gave his whole being himself, but he put his whole trust in her. Well, to the point where he's so vulnerable and so emotional, uh, compromised to the relationship is not happy no more. To everybody feel trapped and everybody on edge. I can't talk about this, she might get mad. I can't talk about this, he might get mad. Oh, I can't go here, girl, because he gonna be tripping. He might pop up. He gonna think I'm cheating. Don't when you in a relationship, you put wife and husband, y'all supposed to share life together. But that's still a single whole person by itself. That person should not have to be in prison or feel in prison being with you, feel like I can't go here or can't go there because the way my husband feel, not because it's a disrespect thing or because he looking out for my best interest, because he's so emotional involved that he's jealous that he won't let me do anything. She should be able to go out by herself sometimes with a girl. You should be able to go out by yourself sometimes with your guys. Give each other space, time to miss each other, and she'll come back and be able to tell what happened, what y'all day was without so emotions and jealousy and getting mad because y'all done put so much emotion in it. You done gave your strength over to it, but y'all can't even operate right. Like walking on eggshell, tipping around each other emotions. Cause I may trigger him or she may trigger me because I done gave my strength to this person. And guess what? Don't worry about it. She going out, she gonna be around men, but he going out, he gonna be around women. If he cheat, leave him. If that's what you choose to do. If she cheat, leave her. That's what you choose to do. And let that not be so of a hard thing to do. Even though y'all can be together for 20 years and got kids, let it not be so hard for you to leave him or her if they cheat or do wrong because you so emotionally invested because you done gave this person your strength. And also don't be worried about stressed out if they gonna cheat. Oh, she going out with the girls today. I wonder if she gonna cheat. When she come back, I'm gonna look at her phone. That's not how healthy marriage should be. It should be so much opening and trust that she come back from a Nate Light club, drunk, corny, coming home to you to give it up to you. You and she should be able to leave y'all phone around each other unlocked. And if the phone rings, there shouldn't be one person running trying to grab the phone. If I'm not around, if my wife there or your husband around, baby, I'm in the bathroom right now. I'm in the kitchen cooking. I left my phone on the table, it's ringing. Answer it to me. Answer it for me. That's what the streets of me about. Y'all one. There should be no surprise if I call uh, one of my homeboy phone, if he married and his wife answered. That shouldn't be like, why you answer his phone? No, they are one. That's his wife. Vice versa. If your girlfriend or your friend or family member call your phones with me, it shouldn't be an odd thing if your husband pick up and say, oh, she in the bathroom right now. She there. Because y'all are one. And there shouldn't be nothing to hide. Baby, grab that phone, see who calling. But when there's secrets and there lies, don't stretch yourself. Don't be like, oh, if the signs there, they cheating and it's stressing you out, let them know, hey, I ain't got time for this. If that's what you want to do, then do it. I'm not feeling this way for nothing. If I'm is, then we need to evaluate why and be able to have those conversations. Because if I feel like you're cheating and you really not, then what you doing to make me feel that way? Vice versa. So I hope this makes sense. Husbands, don't give your strength to your wives. This is what a woman said. A woman said, don't give your strength to your wives. And that can be a topic many ways, and I believe it is. But one of the way it is, all your time and money and emotions, but especially your emotions. But as always, pray, find that balance. And, and be free. This is what Christ means when he say, you should know the truth and the truth should set you free. But as always, let y'all be true and every man a lie. Until next time, Shalom.